Well, howdy, folks, and welcome back to the RCD Show. We're broadcasting from the little clearing on the hill here in Driftwood, and it's the first show that we've broadcast in a while here, and I'm just tickled to be back. Folks, I'm here with Dan Pickens and Walker Pickens from right here in Driftwood and Wimberley, Texas, and I am so excited. I have been after Walker. I've been trying to get you, or talking to you at least, for a year or two, I know, and saying when you can. I always miss him, and I've been looking forward to this father and son show for a very long time. Two Texas Singer Songwriters, and Dan, as you know, has been on our show many times, 4 or 5 times, but not lately, and one of our favorites, and I'm so excited to bring you Walker. So I want to get right straight to some music, and then we'll come back and we'll meet Walker and we'll talk to Dan for a minute. So what's the first song you got lined up for us?
It's called She's Gonna Live.
She's Gonna Live by Walker Pickens.
She came of age in the Great Recession. She was on her cell phone while it all came a-tumbling down. Her parents' marriage and their money and their house went the same direction. They put their faith in the machine and it chewed them up and spit them out. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. She dropped out and she headed westward. She'd read into the wild and on the road, and she was working on how. Felt so connected to the disconnected and the disenchanted. Said if we're all gonna die someday, I'm gonna live right now. Oh, to hell with the expectations of the generation before. A college education and a foot in the door. Some job you don't love, but you do anyway, so you can buy more stuff and accrue vacation days. And maybe someday pay off that student debt and replace it with a mortgage on a house in the burbs instead. And pray the economy doesn't tank again, though it probably will. And you'll watch your savings get siphoned away to keep up with the bills. But if you're lucky, you'll get to keep your job and your health till you retire at 60. And with the time you got left, you will try to start living again if you remember how. Well, that's one way to do it, but she's gonna live right now. Oh, whoa, oh, whoa, oh, whoa, oh, whoa. Where she went, it's not important. She's on some farm near the Cascades or some Colorado ski resort town. No, it was never really all that much about the destination. It's about living with passion and abandon whatever path that takes you down. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
She's Gonna Live by Walker Pickens. That's a nice song. You wrote that about someone?
Nobody in particular.
Nobody in particular, kind of maybe several
Yeah, kind of.
rolled into a ball, several, yeah? Well, I got to tell you, I've heard you, I don't know what I've heard exactly, but I've heard you enough on the internet through Dan and stuff and just different things that I kind of had formulated a vision of who you are, and boy, that song, it totally showed me that I really don't know your music as well as I thought. That was a combination of, and please don't be insulted by this, but it was a combination to me of like a Bob Dylan, an Arlo Guthrie, maybe a Eli, or kind of a storytelling sort of thing that it was different. It was unusual. It was unique. I liked it, and I like that whole presentation. The style is very cool.
Well, thank you
very
very
cool
much.
song. So here we are, father and son. Dan, when did you get this young man his first guitar? Or did it work that way?
Well, he ended up getting my first guitar. So Walker started on piano and started writing songs
Right on.
from the get-go when he was 10 and 12. But for the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, he was piano based.
Now this is when you was a teenager?
Kid,
Yeah.
Yeah, before that.
Before that, yeah. So you have that music history already laid out in front of you with the piano and
A little bit.
yeah, backing there. And then you started with the guitar when?
Well, you're forgetting that you bought
I
me a
did buy you
guitar.
electric.
No, you bought me a little acoustic guitar when I was like 9 or 10, and it sat in a closet. It was probably just a little toy guitar, but it sat in the closet for 5 years, and we never got around to it. I wasn't interested in
So you really started with the guitar, and you called it your instrument when you was a young teenager?
Probably 12, 11 or 12.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you right off, your daddy's a songwriter. Right off, that's what you aspired to, or did you start learning more canned music first, or what'd you do?
Yeah, I was probably just learning, songs that I liked that I heard on the radio or
Sure.
whatever.
Well, when'd you start writing?
Probably around 13 or 14.
Wow.
I'd say. I mean, writing,
Uh-huh.
nothing worth mentioning, but
Yeah, but originals that were yours, that you had a beginning, an end, and a middle, and
sure.
yeah, well that constitutes a song, and so I mean I'm the same way. I was writing when I was up there. I remember the names of some of them, but they were totally unimportant. Not that anything I've ever written is important, but they were totally unimportant. So do you guys ever write together? You guys ever do anything like that?
We experimented with that on a vacation a couple of years ago. Need to work on that more.
That's a
but
hard thing to do.
It's a hard thing to do. Walker's much more advanced as a songwriter. I do want to get the sequence right. I played guitar for a long time and never wrote my own songs. And he heard me do all my favorites, John Prine, Bonnie Raitt, all of my faves growing up. But he started writing before I did.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, that's cool.
yeah.
All right. Okay, well, let's get to another piece of music here. And Dan, let's have you play one. What are you going to play?
I'm going to play Life's Pretty Good Right Now.
Is this a recent one?
It is a recent one.
Have you done? Yeah, I don't recognize
I've never recorded it yet.
it. First time. Always
Premiere on RCD.
RCD show
Yeah,
right here.
absolutely.
All right. Super. Well, once again, it's
Life's Pretty Good Right Now.
Life's Pretty Good Right Now by Dan Pickens.
So This is a song about pushing the reset button a little later in life, as many of us do. And it's tough to do, tough to hit that reset button, but after a few years you realize you've kind of hit a good spot. Way down in Bayou Vista, where the big bay laps of land, I built a house I'll die in, at least that's the plan. I got the wind in my face on a Tuesday morning, water like glass beneath my bow. I got nothing to prove, I've at last found my groove, and life's pretty good right now. My kids, they come and see me, but my wife, we parted ways. It's not the life I dreamed of back in my youthful days, but there's fish in the box and it's still early, and Louis' bait camp's just down the road. I got friends who I near I can call for a beer. I've laid down my heavy, heavy load. Yes, there are times I do get lonely, and those blues get a grip on my mind. On occasion, I wish that I had only, but then I stop, I must be losing my mind. I got the wind in my face on a Tuesday morning, water like glass beneath my bow. I got nothing to prove, I've at last found my groove, and life's pretty good right now. I got nothing to prove, I've at last found my groove, and life's pretty good right now.
We was horsing around earlier, and you was showing me some stuff, and there was this song, takes one to know one. Is that the name? Mm-hmm. Would you do that for the audience? I'm gonna put you on the spot, just tell you what to do, but it's such a great song. And would you mind if I just sat here and listen to you?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, good.
Sad families go to eat seafood and drink. I was trying hard to care about the Cowboys game. We were just about down for the count. I was paying my tab when I heard in my ear, what's a girl gotta do to get a beer around here? She'd done this before, it was abundantly clear when we ordered us up around, and she said, it takes one to know one. Yeah, I know an alcoholic when I see one, darling. We share a certain sadness, you and I. And I wanted to argue, but I knew deep down that she was probably right. such a witch. She had a couple years on me, I didn't care one bit. She lit up a smoke, said she'd been trying to quit. We were hitting it off just fine. We didn't talk much about the people we'd been. We just drank and watched the speedboats come around the bend. I was starting to wonder where this evening would end. I guess she must have read my mind, 'cause she said, it takes one to know one. Yeah, I know a lonely heart when I see one, darling. We share a certain madness, you and I wanted to kiss her, but she beat me to it before I found the guts to try. Not to feel like a broken man, looking back the morning after on a one-night stand. I walked to the road, caught a ride with a friend, hung over and hollowed out. And I know because it takes one to know one. We were both looking for the same thing, and we found it alright down at the crab shack down by the lake. Distraction from the feelings you just can't quite drink away.
It Takes One to Know One by Walker Pickens. What a song. Sounds like you just came from Nashville. You just came from Nashville, didn't you?
I did just come
You've
from
been
Nashville.
in Nashville for
a year.
yeah, and you just came back to Wimberley from that. I tell you, that song has the feeling of something that you hear on the radio, on your favorite progressive country station. I'm serious.
Well,
that
thank you.
really is just every part of it. As they say, the whole package, it's just all of it, the tune, the words, all of it. I really like it. That song's going to go somewhere. Is that going to be on your CDs?
Yeah, that's on my album that's coming out at the end of the year. Yeah.
Albums. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Folks, come back after the break. Be sure, and don't change that dial. We'll see you in a minute. Welcome back to the RCD show, folks. I'm so excited to be here with Dan and Walker Pickens right here from Wimberley and Driftwood, two of the finest songwriters anywhere around. And today, we're just being entertained with some wonderful originals. Dan, what's the name of this next song you're going to do?
This is Matagorda Island.
Matagorda Island. You've done this one on the show before.
I have slightly rewritten it.
Oh.
So
Dan, what's the name of this next song you're going to do?
this is Matagorda Island.
Matagorda Island. You've done this one on the show before.
I have slightly rewritten it.
Oh,
So
we've changed
new
it a little.
words, yeah.
New words?
Well,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
a little bit. Years of love we shared together, then 5 more when it really fell apart. Kids were gone and you took a new direction, decided I could not fulfill your heart. My steady job to you was nothing special. It paid the bills but somehow cramped your style. I worked late and you went out and partied. I've been true and faithful, you just wanted wild. As I watch the sun go down from Matagorda Island, waves of truth are crashing on the shore. Wreck of you and me slips under the water. Cast away from love, I'll be no more. Sold the house, you got half my earnings. All my hate and anger and my tears. When your world is gone, there's no use staying. I cross a bay, set up over here. 80 days I've been here on the island. 80 days of birds and waves and stars. There's a natural pace here on the island. Time to think, time to heal the scars. As I watch the sun go down from Matagorda Island, waves of truth are crashing on the shore. Wreck of you and me slips under the water. Cast away from love, I'll be no more. Wreck of you and me slips under the water. Cast away from love, I'll be no more.
Well, we're back with Walker Pickens, and we're going to do, what are we going to do, Wrap Around Porch?
Yep.
Wrap Around Porch. Tell us a little about this song. When did you write it?
I wrote the song four years ago. And it's just a song about wanting to be better than you are.
And you've had a little time to work it out, 4 years, but it's still playing it?
Sure. It was it was the lead single off my first record that came out a few years ago.
Let's talk about that 1 second. How many CDs you got?
I'm working on my second record.
Working on your second. And so what's the name of the first one?
First one is just self-titled.
Yeah. And you have the second one coming out when?
The second one is going to be coming out probably December or January.
Will you come back and have a CD release here or at our station on the show?
Yeah, I would love to. It'd be a lot of
Okay, you get, once you tell me and you tell all those guys, you pretty much are looped in. Right, we're going to have a CD release on the air for Walker's new CD. Do you have a name for it?
Nope.
No,
not
no
yet.
name. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll have one by then, or we'll make one up.
Sounds good.
All right. I forgot the name of the song.
Wrap Around Porch.
I'll try to talk too much. Okay, here we go. Wait. Wrap Around Porch by Walker Pickens.
I was mostly a child when I met you, though I'm still settling into my skin. I will sing you a love song with words that eluded me then. From your fourth-story west side apartments, hear the drunkards below on the wind. Well, I slept like a baby the first night that you took me in. And I know I'm a far cry from perfect. I know you weep when I'm at it again. But love is a river and I'm still learning to swim. If you're patient for the man I'll become, I will take care of the rest. I will build you a home with a wrap-around porch facing west. Some days I'm humbled by my own bad behavior, guilt-ridden but not giving up. Though I move at the speed of a glacier, I'll change for your love. 'Cause it's plain to see you deserve better than what I have to offer some days. I should think before I speak and stop drinking my whole life away. And I know I'm a far cry from perfect. I know you weep when I'm at it again. But love is a river and I'm still learning to swim. If you're patient for the man I'll become, I will take care of the rest. I will build you a home with a wraparound porch facing west. Maybe someday when the city outgrows us, we'll move out to the country somewhere. We can see the Pleiades at night and breathe in that hill country air. And I'll be the man that you always believed in. I'll leave the childish things far behind. Let those rocking chair summers and wood stove winters unwind. And I know that I'll never be perfect. It's a battle that no one can win. But I'll never stop trying to give you the love you command. Although sometimes I'm stubborn and often I'm wrong, with the patience so you bless. And we'll live in our home with that wraparound porch facing west. Yes, we'll live in our home with the wraparound porch facing west.
See it. I really can see it. It's just a gorgeous view you painted, a picture, a portrait. I see this house, this wraparound porch facing the west, rocking chairs. You are really something. But, well, I'd like for you to start this one out, Dan. What do you have?
What do I have? I have a song that I've been dying to play since it's September and still 95 degrees.
It is.
And it's Texas, but you know, there are cold fronts coming.
Oh, I know the song.
You know the song.
Ah, Blue Northern. Blue Northern. I love this song. Okay. All right, Blue Northern. And this you wrote a couple of years ago.
I did write a couple of years ago, but it's still one of my favorites.
It's one of your best songs. God, it's a good song. Blue Northern. Ladies and gentlemen, performing his original Blue Northern, Dan Pickens. Go ahead, Dan.
There's a blue norther coming. It's sweeping the plains. It'll be here tomorrow, and it might bring some rain. Lord knows we need it. I'm so tired of this heat. 85 in November, the land's burnt to a cinder. Need some relief. I sure love that first gust, like my sweetie's ice kiss. It's the breath of a newborn as it brushes your lips. Then comes the full force of the wind and the rain, and the trees go to bending. That summertime ending sounds like a train. I love the autumn. I love to see by bucks running doors. Sandhill cranes are calling as I spiral on down to the coast. And the leaves on the trees splash in colors as they dance in the crisp morning sun. Each holiday just gets sweeter as the sand in the hourglass runs. And the temperature's dropping like a stone that's been tossed. And we stoke up the wood stove and we look for a frost. We dig out the blankets, we'll be snug in the bed. No clingy sheet kicking, no sweaty skin sticking, we'll be cozy instead. I love the autumn.
Me too.
I love to see bucks running doors. Sandhill cranes are calling as I spiral on down to the coast. And the leaves on the trees splash in colors as they dance in the crisp morning sun. And each holiday just gets sweeter as the sand in the hourglass runs. And each holiday just gets sweeter as the sand in the hourglass runs.
I really, really love that song. It just feel the coolness when you're talking about it. Coming in, I can see the leaves changing. Dan, you're a poet. You're a poet with a guitar.